What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, wherever the hell else I post. How's everybody doing? Today is Monday, December 15th. Gonna do a little quick roster review. Just came off last night. We got a Super Bowl. We got a division championship loss on duos. I got 4 Super Bowl wins in the past 10 days with this fucking lineup right here. About to do a quick little run through of it. Try to keep this short and sweet and to the point. Let you guys know what I'm rocking so you can see what's going on. Give you some stick help, and then if you want this work, I'll be on at 8 o'clock tonight. So, just for starters, basic intro. Got the Seattle Zero Chill theme team as you see here on the left. I got a couple of the Autumn Classic players as well. Some of them doubled. Some of them I got for free. John Madden, Jerry Rice I hustled for. The rest were packs, a couple of events. I'm not gonna lie, definitely bought some of the offers. I'll be honest with you. This is not all free to play. Let me get that out of the way first. But as you can see here, we got Shador's QB1. I got the King backing him up for some of those quarterback runs, those RPOs every once in a while, but not very often. Gibbs as my halfback. Dickerson as my power back. We got Cup in the slot. He's nasty in the slot. Chad Johnson, Jerry Rice, my 1 and my 2. My offensive line, it's been hit or miss this past couple weeks. I'm not going to lie. We had a lot of changes here. We had a whole different lineup 2 weeks ago. John Madden's been letting me down. He's getting ready to get cut off the squad, I'll be honest with you. And these abilities he's got right here, not doing him no justice. No justice. I'm not going to lie. Out of all the free players, he is absolutely the worst. But all team chems, all these abilities, plus I needed the Autumn Classic to get that extra team chem boost. So, gotta suck it up and start him. It is what it is. Coming down on over here. Strategies, that's the wrong one we want. That's the one we want. So, I got 1 or 2 on my line. Edge protectors on both of my tackles. Very, very important. Keeps you from getting the zone blitz on the outside. Keeps your pocket a little bit cleaner. Humphreys in the middle, because a lot of people want to do that mid-zone blitz up the middle. A lot of people bring their linebackers in. They try to push the line up the middle, get the center off the ball quicker. So this is super, super important. I would really recommend pass protector on somebody, anybody. In this case, the left guard was cheap and easy and free. I generally don't put stuff on my guards because really you want to keep the outside clean, because most of the time you can read up the middle a lot easier. You can step in a pocket and deliver a good ball. You don't want to have your outsides get fucked up, but your insides where you want to stay clean. Chad Johnson, man, he's my deep threat all day, every day. So I got the runoff elite on him. He gets off the ball quick. He's bigger, he's taller, he's faster than most cornerbacks. And a lot of times, if he doesn't have safety help, he will win the one-on-one. So that runoff ability is very, very, very key. And obviously, first down, we definitely want to get that. Cooper Kupp, same thing, because he's in the middle of the field a lot. When he gets tackled, I want him to get that extra yard or two. I just want him to fight for it. He's usually one of my check down Charlie receivers, slants, digs, things like that. Come over here to Rice. Just got doubles on Rice because usually he's got one-on-one for the simple fact that big body burner, baby. No abilities, no X factors, no nothing. He's just raw dogging out there with Seattle, and he is a tank. I will tell you, for the longest time, and a lot of my videos you will see, Trey McBride, best hands in the game, go argue with a fucking wall. I have not seen or had anybody in Madden in probably the past 2 or 3 years have hands like Trey McBride, excuse me. Can't go wrong with Gibbs. He's an all-down back. He's got all-team chems, super hard to tackle, super shifty. As you can see, the X Factor we got him, he's got a high fake out right. His juke moves are already super, super good. So giving him that extra juke ability on those screen passes or those flat routes really puts him on easy one-on-one situations, and you have a very, very high chance of faking your first defender out and getting past him for the first down. On the defensive side of the ball, nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. However, again, with the Seattle theme team, as you will see again and again and again, most of my guys, they double. I have Seattle and Zero Chill. Most players are both. A lot of the Zero Chill or the Seattle, especially the Diamond players, Williams on the defensive end, and you got Micah Parsons over here too. They get all team chems. So that gives me a couple extra boosts right there. On top of that fact, I do a lot of secondary placements. You'll see here. On my 71 overall, he's just there for my team chem. That's all he's there for. He's there for nothing else. Nothing else. Same thing here. Zero chill. No other reason I have him in the lineup except for the zero chill. That gives me my 20 team chem. Gives me a little bit extra boost. X factor wise, nothing crazy. I have basically hawking on most of my DBs. My lines, you want to get after the quarterback, so you're going to put pressure on them a lot, especially on my edge, my fast edge, because I'll be honest, just my play style. I do a lot of left side blitzes. I force everybody to the right because that's the way they don't want to go. Easy sacks, bad throws. So I put a lot of my abilities on my left side of my line because I want to flush the quarterback out to the right. Just a little personal trick I do with my defense, to each his own. And then here's another little trick too for everybody that doesn't really pay attention too much to the team chems. Same thing as defense. 74 overall left tackle, 80 overall left guard. They're only there to keep my team chems up. I have 8 or 9 extra positions and players that give my team chem boosts. So instead of going from, tier 2 or tier 3, I'm all the way down to tier 7. I may actually push tier 8. I'm not going to lie. I might push tier 8. They just dropped the running back for Seattle, Walker. We might scoop him up today or tomorrow. That'll give me, what will that give me? 7 and 8. So 3 more positions. Definitely doable. Another little trick for a lot of you guys out there that don't really know. Kickoffs. Safeties in your kickoffs. Safeties in your kickoffs because they don't fumble, because they're fast, and because they're easier to change on your defensive adjustment with your subs. One of the things that I have learned from my duo counterpart who runs the defensive side of the ball, he religiously switches safeties in for his linebackers. It is an absolute offensive killer. The safety's awareness, speed, and hands are all better than linebackers. The only thing that you're going to miss out on when you do that is you're not going to have as good as tackling in the middle of the field. However, if you're playing somebody who runs the ball, don't sub out your linebackers. If you're playing somebody who's throwing the ball 67 times a quarter, you might want to consider putting more DBs on the field. That's one little easy cheat way to do it. Specialists, I don't go crazy. Usually my basic lineup. The only thing I have different here than I do with my original lineup is I switched out my right ends and my sub linebackers, because what I like to do again is I'll put my safeties as my Mike 2. I don't use my Sam linebackers very often. I usually go with a 2 linebacker set when I'm playing solos, when I'm playing duos. That's up to the coordinator. For me personally, my backup linebacker is the only person on the field that usually does not come into the field at all. I have my safeties in there. If I sub him out, it's usually a manual sub based on the formation, the down, and the play that we're calling. Slot cornerbacks, again, just base up my 3 and my 4. My slot cornerbacks, I don't like to have them move around because I have had so many times where you put your sub or your sub corner as your 2 or your 3 DB just for the stat points, but they come out in five receiver formations. Sometimes it'll pull your number 1 in to cover their number 3 based on formation. Now their number 1 receiver is getting covered by your number 2, number 3 linebacker or DB. That's an easy tug for the opposition. Do not do that. Playbook. Oh, excuse me. Playbook is super simple. Ravens offense, spread the field, a lot of RPOs based on how you play, based on what you run. This is a great playbook for anybody that's trying to have diversity in their play calling. There are a lot of RPO options, run options, passing options are almost endless with this team, especially when you want to go 3 wide. Slide one to the other side. You can bring in an extra tight end. You can even slide out a receiver or a running back to a receiver slot, drag routes and slant routes over the middle. Running back sometimes a little bit more shifty than receivers, going through the middle of the field. So the Ravens playbook gives you a lot of options, the way you can change your formations, change your lineups, change your play calls. And I have had very little issues with this team as far as if I come out in a setup I don't like or a play call that I don't feel works, The audibles out of this is endless. So it gives the adjustments a lot to do. It allows you to have a lot of flexibility. And a lot of times, as one of the games I put up last night, I'll be completely honest, I was super mad at this other kid I was playing because he kept spamming the same play 30,000 times. So I said, you know what? My turn. I spammed the play for 2 entire quarters, put up 28 points on him. All I did was change up a couple different routes, same formation, same setup, same everything. All I did was adjust my routes in the playbook on the field, or in the play call on the field at the line of scrimmage. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Point is, simple adjustments out of that playbook with this receiving core allows you the diversity to move players back and forth, run almost any type of route you want. Everybody on here has good route running, has good hands, has good escapability. So the possibilities here are endless. On the defensive side of the ball, base Dallas D, again, 2 linebacker sets for the most part. I run a 3 or 4 DB set based on who I'm playing or how they're playing. Most times I'll come out either a 1 or a 2 linebacker set, and then I'll either go out if he's running a lot, I'll do a 3-4 or 4-3, and I'll swap out my middle linebacker for a safety, or the outside 2 for safeties. I'll leave the 1 in the middle as a power back, depending on what they do. That's all game decision made. But, like I said, 4 Super Bowls in about 10 to 14 days. I lost track. I got 1 last night, championship loss last night. That was duos. Solo was a couple days ago. And I stole somebody else's Super Bowl. It's not really mine. It doesn't really count, but it does. So those videos should be up on YouTube. I'll get them over to Twitch as soon as I can. And that's your basic roster review for this week. Probably sometime today. Like I said, I'll be swapping out Jahmyr Gibbs. We'll be getting Walker because Walker's Seattle. He's coming out as a 93 overall, which is it's better than Gibbs even with the boost. So if I get Walker with the stat boost, basically what's gonna happen is you're gonna get Walker with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 93 Zero Chill Walker that came out should be at least a 95 overall. What's he going to get? He's going to get 2 speed because I get 1 speed here. I think I get a speed in Zero Chill as well. Oh, yep, speed in Zero Chill. And I get a speed in here. No, I don't. So 2 speeds on a 93. So he'll be a 95 overall. By the time I get him in, get him all set up, and get his boost going. So that's your roster review for this week, December 15th, 2 weeks before Christmas, or 10 days before Christmas, excuse me. I got a bunch of presents that we are not going to open or sell. We're going to wait for Christmas to come. More than likely, this is the team I'm going to rock through Christmas. We got 11 of these guys, 3 of these guys. Also, I got to ask, Jingle Sled Chase. I mean, that's got to be Ja'Marr Chase. There's really nobody else that can be, right? Ja'Marr Chase. I don't know. Frosty Punch, that's a tricky one. I don't know who Frosty Punch is. Frozen Fright, I don't know. I think that's going to be a running back, to be honest. Either a running back or a real big linebacker. I'm not sure yet. In any case, these are not going to get open until Christmas. I'm not going to sell them. I'm not buying anybody else with the exception of Walker because he's Seattle, and I'm running Seattle team anyway. And I'm not going to lie, this is really bittersweet because I really like Gibbs. Gibbs has been my running back since he came out. I jumped on him ASAP because he got all team chem, and I've kept him since he came out. I literally got him the day he dropped. He's been my running back since, and I'm going to tell you right now, he is by far, it's an argument with Trey McBride, I'll be honest, my offensive MVP, but Gibbs is up there, man. Gibbs and McBride have been my 2 ride or dies since they came out. They both have been doing their thing. I have 0 complaints with either player card. However, as Madden does Madden things, they're going to come out with upgradable players later on as it gets closer to the end of the season. So we got to make adjustments as they come. Just pay attention to what you're doing with your team chems. Make sure you watch your overalls. If you got any questions, you guys know where to find me. You take it easy and be good. I'll catch you later.